Recognized for 5 minutes.
We're all being gentlemen and ladies today, aren't we? Thank you, Mr. Secretary, and thanks for appearing before this council. I only have a couple statements and then one question. Is our job is to write this budget, and I know the Secretary knows it. He's presented a balanced budget to us, and our job is to write the budget. And we can stand here and beat him up all we want, but reality is it's the job of the Congress, not the job of the President. It's his philosophy. And I know, having served with the Secretary for many years, that he has some requirements. That's why he's the Secretary for the President, and he'll follow through with those. But our job is to try to make sure that the money is spent where we want to spend it and still end up with a balanced budget. I happen to agree, Mr. Secretary, with your resigning certain people out of the agency because it got stagnant. It was a stagnant agency, and they were forgetting, very frankly, the people they serve. I commend you on that. One question I want to ask you is, or maybe two, but the prior administration refused to listen to the people, especially in Alaska, and they locked up land in Alaska behind Congress's back under the pretense of areas of critical and environmental concern. The land was then managed by a wilderness, circumventing the no more clause in my state. And just out of curiosity, what is your direction in those lands that were designated as critical habitat and then managed by wilderness, circumventing the law?
Mr. Chairman, I follow the law, and Alaska is unique. When it came into the Union, there are certain provisions on Alaska that no other state had, on wilderness, on management of wildlife, on surveys to make sure that we finish the surveys, because there's land as you came into the Union. There's land that's supposed to be surveyed and transferred into the state. That is unique, and so I recognize the uniqueness of Alaska, and certainly look forward to working with you and Lisa Murkowski on it. But part of my job is to go up to Alaska and look at it. You learn a lot. As a secretary, I think my position should be out in the field, asking the right questions, because it is, I view my job as nonpartisan. Public lands. Of the things that are partisan today, I would think public lands would be uniquely an American issue, because we all care about it. We all share the same land experience. But on your example with Alaska, I view Alaska as unique, and I follow the law.
I thank you, Mr. Secretary. I have great fondness for wildlife refuges and preserves, et cetera, but I do not appreciate agencies that set the policy against the law and do not allow access, and that's one of my biggest complaints. They have this idea that the land belongs to the agency. It does not. It belongs to the people. And they have insisted on conducting themselves as the Lord and Master, and the Lord will not let the peasants come on the land without a permission. That's not the way to operate a park or a refuge or any other area that's owned by the public. It doesn't mean we're going to rip and ruin and rape. We're going to take and actually visit. Not inside of a building, but see the beauty and the grandeur of the land. Experience the stars above us, not inside of a building. And that's one of my frustrations the last, actually, under my administration was just about as bad. The last 8 years has been a horror dream. So again, Mr. Secretary, I thank you for your presence. I feel sorry for you in many ways. You've been before the Senate, I believe, before 2 committees. You're going to listen to this committee and probably Appropriations Committee. I just wish we'd leave you alone. We'll let you go do your job. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
All right, the gentleman yields back. At this time, the chair recognizes the young lady from California, Ms. Torres, for 5 minutes.